Everyone, I'm sorry. I do apologize. I forgot to start the broadcast. Thank you, Asma, for reminding me. So, all right. So, Asma, can you read number 7?
Okay. Moving to a new location is the best thing for our business, he argued.
Argued. Okay. So, when you said argued, you had the ed. Was that a d, a t, or an ed sound?
D.
D. Okay. Now, I was thinking there was some examples here for the T sound. He begged. No. So for the T sound, can anybody think of any examples for the T? I can't think.
Talk.
Finished.
Walk.
Talked. Okay, talked. That is the T sound. Okay. So the thing is with the past tense ed, a lot of people just want to pronounce all of the past tense eds with ed. They want to say boasted, threatened, groaned, grumbled, begged, insisted, argued. Okay. But the only ones that it actually works for to use the ed sound is this T and the D. Now, if it's with a T sound, it's a K, like with walked and talked. A K, and sometimes it's a G, but it's a K and a P, K and P, an S, and sometimes an SH. Those are the sounds actually where it would be a T sound. But basically, what I tell people when I'm able to give this kind of example is if you use the D sound here. If you shoot for just saying a D sound, it will automatically go to ED, or you will swallow it up. But remember, TED, it's TED, both dead, but this one is threatened. So the E is silent, groaned, E is silent, grumbled, E is silent. So it's all a D sound. But if you shoot for the D sound, because that's the one that 90% of the words are, okay? So that this is, as many of you have been in my classes before, this is a very common mistake that I hear pretty much everybody use at one time or another. So, okay, so we have boasted, threatened, groaned, grumbled, begged, insisted, and argued. Okay, now let's match the verbs on the left with the fillings on the right. Boast, threaten, groan, grumble, beg, insist, argue with aggression, desperation, determination, displeasure, pain, persuasion, and pride. So let's start with Carlos White. Could you start out and choose one of these words and match it with another one of these words?
Yes, let me see. Maybe argue with aggression.
Argue with aggression. No, that's not aggression.
Persuasion.
Yes, it is persuasion. Perfect. Argue is, if you argue something, you are trying to persuade them. Now, sometimes it turns into aggression, but it isn't normally meant to be aggression. So, all right, Carlos Blue.
Yep.
Sorry about that. My phone decided to ring. So, Carlos Blue, what is the next word? You can choose any of those words.
Boast. The boast is to G pride.
Yes, boast would be pride. Very good. Yes. Boast is pride. Okay. All right. And then Diana, can you choose one?
Death. Mm, desperation.
Okay. Which one was that?
Beg.
Beg. Okay. Beg was desperation. Okay. It's desperation. Perfect. Okay. Desperation. Okay. And then Asma, can you choose one?
Mm, mm, insist.
Okay.
Uh,
This.
determination.
Insist and determination. Correct. Okay. Right. And Anna Christina.
Threaten, aggression.
Threaten would be aggression. Very good. Right. And Eva.
Yeah, maybe grumble with grumble with displeasure.
Perfect. Grumble with displeasure. All right. And then Mariam, the easiest one here.
Well, grown with pain.
Okay, grown with pain. Excellent. All right, grown with pain. All right. So let's read the sentences below and add the patterns to the nouns above. Okay. So he number one, Alejandro, can you read that one?
He boasted that he was the most talented person on the team.
Okay, so basically, I'm not sure what they mean by this, but he boasted that. So usually when we have except for example, when you say he boasted, when it's at the end, you always say he boasted that. He boasted that he was the best. He boasted that she was the most successful person in her family. So, all right, Anna Christina, can you read number two?
He threatened to kill me.
Okay, so remember, he threatened. So that's
He
a D sound.
threatened.
He threatened to kill me. Okay, he threatened. So usually we have threatened and to. He threatened to fire me. He threatened to kill me. He threatened to hit me. Okay. All right. Number three, Asma, can you read that one?
He groaned that his leg was killing him.
Yes. So he groaned that. Okay. Number four, Carlos Blue.
He grumbled about the food.
Okay, so he grumbled. Remember, not grumbled. Grumbled.
He grumbled.
Yeah, perfect. So he grumbled about the food. Okay, so he grumbled about the plans, or she grumbled about going to school. Okay, number five, Carlos White.
She begged for another chance. She begged him to give her another chance.
Yeah, so she begged for, or she begged him to give, or she begged her. So this would need to have a pronoun after that. Okay, Diana, can you read number 6?
She insisted on carrying her own bag. She insisted that she carry her own bag.
Okay, so she insisted on. So insist on. Whenever you use that word, you would say insist on or insisted that. Okay, and number 7, Eva, can you read that one?
He argued in favor of moving to a new location. He argued that moving to a new location was the best thing for the business.
All right, thank you. And again, he argued that, or he argued in favor of. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and practice using these words a little bit. So, so tell me, Mariam, in Colombia, is it a positive or a negative thing for people to boast? And what is the common thing that people might boast about?
It depends. I think it depends on the situation. For example, when most people boast about finding a new job or having a new girlfriend or boyfriend or getting married.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it is positive when it comes to about people who care about you, and negative maybe if you're bragging about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's negative. So if it's positive if people are care about you, but negative if you are bragging and people don't care about you. So very good, thank you. Very good answer. Okay, so Alejandro, tell us about the last time somebody threatened you, or have you ever been threatened?
Try to kill me.
No, not to kill. It could be threatened to threaten to fire you, or threaten to kiss you, or threaten to hug you. It could be anything. So.
It was on the street. Beggar. I don't know. Got me for money. Asked me for money, but when I didn't gave him to the money, he insulted me.
He threatened. Really?
He threatened. Yeah.
He threatened to shoot you. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you were robbed on the street?
No. He asked me for a coin.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it was a beggar.
I didn't have a coin in that moment.
Mm-hmm. So you say a beggar. You say
a beggar. Yes.
Yeah. Or another word instead of beggar, you can say a panhandler. A panhandler asked me for some money, and I didn't have and he threatened to shoot me. So, yeah, but he didn't have common. A gun.
Okay. Very common case in this big city.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. All right. And so Eva, tell us about groaned. When you are sick, do you groan?
Yes, a lot.
Do you? Okay. Yeah. Some people don't. Other people do. So.
Yes, I know that some people don't, but I don't know. I do. Maybe I want to have attention. So somebody can take care of me.
How funny. Okay. Yeah, please, please. Oh, I'm sick. Oh. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, Anna Christina, as far as grumble, do your kids, you're a mom, right?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, so we can't say that. So Anna Christina, when you were a child, did you grumble about the food that your mom made?
Yeah, teacher, because I didn't eat vegetable. My mother every day tried to convince me that I had to eat vegetable. Uh,
Uh-huh. Okay. And she asked you, and you didn't, of course, want to eat it. So, will you
I
eat it
don't
now?
like. I don't like, teacher.
Okay. All right.
Nowadays, I don't eat vegetable.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And Diana, tell us about the last time that somebody that you begged for another chance.
Someone? Hello?
Hello? Either that someone or that you begged for another chance.
The last time? I don't remember. Maybe my nephew.
Uh-huh.
He is I don't know how to say. Naughty.
Uh-huh. Naughty? Mm-hmm.
Naughty. Yes, and he get used to do disorder in my home when he played.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And someday he won't he don't want to organize the toys, and I argued with him, and he was crying, and I was very angry, and I love him, but I am very angry when he don't isn't organized.
I
He was crying
understand.
when he begged for me, please, excuse me, I didn't want to do that, and yes, in the same way, but he was very apologize. I don't know how to say.
He's a very apologetic. So you would
Yes,
say he was very apologetic because he
yes.
wanted to
Because
do
I
whatever.
screamed him. I was very angry that day.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I totally understand. That sounds like my life with my nephews. So.
Yes, but he is very, very. He has 7 years, and in that time
Okay.
he has
He.
5 or 4 years only. But he was
Okay.
very, very
Uh-huh.
small.
So instead of he has 7 years, you would say he is 7 years old.
He is in this time,
Yeah.
and he had
Yeah.
in that time 4 or 5 years old.
So he was. Oh, he was. He was 4 years old.
Oh, he was 4 years old.
Yeah.
Yes.
So instead of the have, which is very common, I guess, in Spanish, I'm assuming we use is. We use the to be verb.
We have that confusion.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
all right, Carlos Blue. Do you
Yeah.
have any kids?
Nope, not
Okay.
yet.
Do you have an elderly parent?
What? Repeat?
And do you have an older? Are your parents fairly old?
If my parents are
Okay.
old?
I'll just ask about your grandma. Okay. Tell me, does your grandmother insist on carrying her own bag all the time, or will she let you carry her bag or carry her groceries?
You mean if my mother insists to me to carry my bag?
Yeah, does she insist on carrying her own groceries, or does she let you carry her groceries?
Yeah, actually, when I was a child, she never carried my bag, and she always told me if I have to do my hour things.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. And also,
Yeah.
now, number 7, Carlos White. Tell us about the last time you argued in favor of something, and you can tell us what you argued in favor of.
Last time, I'm all the time arguing with my daughters. They need to do what I'm tell them to do. They never listen to me, so I argue with them all the time.
Mm-hmm. And do they, many times when you say, okay, you didn't listen to me, so you're losing this privilege, do they beg for another chance?
Yes.
Like what Diana was saying?
Yes.
I think what Diana was describing, all parents understand. So, yes, please, another chance, please, Mom. All right.
I always remove the privilege of viewing TV or something.
Yeah, exactly. Or watching TV, or going to the park is a big one in my sister's family. Going to the park, or then they're like, "Oh, another chance, please, another chance." So, all right. So what we're going to do, we have these verbs here. We've got to mumble, or to mumble, to murmur, to mutter, to scream, to shout, to shriek, to whisper, and to yell. Okay? Which ones are soft and which ones are loud? So let's start with Mariam. Can you choose one and tell me if it's soft or loud? And some of these words might be new for you, and that's okay. Just choose one. Those are I call first. You'll get to use the ones you know.
Okay, so I can say any word that belongs to. Okay, in soft, whisper, and
whisper. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, just soft. A whisper is soft. Okay, excellent. Eva, can you choose one that's either soft or loud?
Mutter. I think it's soft.
It is mutter.
Mutter.
Mutter, yes.
Thanks.
And I just put whisper. Whisper is soft, and mutter is also soft. Perfect. Okay, and Diana, can you choose one?
Loud. Only soft or loud?
Allowed to, yeah. Just choose one of the words.
Yell. Yell is loud.
Yell is loud, yeah. Okay, and Carlos White.
Scream is loud.
Okay, scream is loud, okay. All right. And Carlos Blue.
Murmur.
Okay. Murmur.
Is soft, number 1.
Mm-hmm. It is soft, excellent. And Ozma.
Shout is loud, number 2.
Shout is loud, perfect. Okay. And Ana Cristina.
Help me with the pronunciation.
We say shriek.
Shriek. I think that shriek is loud.
Yes, to shriek is very loud. Okay, and then mumble. Alejandro, is mumble loud or soft?
No, soft.
Soft, yes. And a lot of times, I'll hear English language speakers, well, non-native speakers of English, and people can't understand them, and they get really frustrated. And it's usually men, and I watch them talk, and then I say to them, okay, if you want to be understood, what you need to do is make sure you are opening your mouth and not mumbling. And I've seen English language learners improve their pronunciation just for that, because I know, like in Finland, in Finnish, it's okay to mumble in the Finnish language and people will understand you. So there's a lot of the Finnish men that would just speak English like, and nobody really understood them because they didn't open their mouth. So that's what mumbling is when you speak without opening your mouth. And murmur is very similar. When you talk about murmur, it's kind of a low noise that you hear people talking but you can't understand what they're saying. Muttering is when you say a word under your breath. I can't believe it. Scream, of course, is what children do. Yelling is what the parents do to the children. Whisper is when you talk very, very soft. Shriek is like a yell or a scream combined. And shout, of course, is even a bigger yell. So, any questions about these words?
Yeah, what's the difference between scream and yell?
Scream and yell. Scream usually is higher pitched. You usually men don't have the capacity or the ability with their voice to scream.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so usually it's children, and of course women will scream when they're, of course, angry, when they're yelling at their husband or whatever, boyfriend, and when at an amusement park ride or something like that, where men cannot scream because they can't get that high a pitch.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
Shouting and yelling are very similar as well. Usually when I think of the word shout, I think it's when you say one or two words and that's it. Where when you're yelling, you're talking very loud and you're saying a lot of saying a lot of things. So, okay, any other words or clarification?
Mumble is similar to murmur.
No. Okay.
No?
Yeah, basically mumble is when this is to mumble. Hello, I'm Nathalie. So you're speaking really without opening your mouth. Hello. But when you a murmur, basically, when you say, for example, if you come into a room and a lot of people are talking, and you can hear that people are talking, but you cannot make out what they're saying, you can say it's a low murmur.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, so that's what that is. So, and maybe in a classroom where the professor is speaking at the university and people are talking, and he can hear the murmur, but he just ignores it because he figures they're all adults anyway. So, and then mutter would be talking under your breath. So, all right. So any other questions? Okay, so let's go ahead and do number one. Let's go with Alejandro. Can you do that one, number one?
Get out. She shall.
Okay.
Or shoot. No, shoot.
How about since it's a she screamed. Get out, she screamed. Get out, she screamed. So, but shouted will actually work as well. She shouted. Okay. All right. Number two. Ana Cristina, can you do that one?
Please stop shout me and try to speak more clearly.
Okay. That kind of works, but there's actually another word that's better. Which of these words means you cannot really understand the person when they're speaking?
Mumble.
Mumbles, yeah. So please stop mumbling. Please stop mumbling and try to speak more clearly. Okay. Number 3. So Asma, can you do that one?
The traffic was very noisy, so she shrieked at me from across the street.
Actually, the two that would be better than shriek would be yelled or shouted. So, Asma! I don't want to yell because I don't want people to worry that something's wrong with Holly. So, number 4, Carlos Blue.
He shrieked his name 3 times and still couldn't hear him.
Okay, shriek is really loud, so it's probably be a soft word.
Yell.
No, probably
soft word.
soft.
Whisper.
Yeah, I whispered. Actually, the one that would work the best would be mumbled or muttered. So he mumbled or he muttered his name 3 times, and I still couldn't hear him. So, and mumble is when you don't actually move your mouth when you speak. Okay, so or your mouth moves very little. But when you mutter, you're talking kind of under your breath. I can't believe this. My name is so people just can't. It's very difficult to hear them. So these are the 2 that people just can't be understood when they're mumbling or muttering. Okay, number 5, Carlos White.
She murmured the answer in my ear so that nobody could hear her.
Okay, actually, in this one, she whispered. Because when you talk into somebody's ear so that no one can hear him, it's always whisper. Hey, Carlos, can you hear me? So that's what whisper. So, okay, number 6, Diana, can you try that one?
Ben shriek in pain.
Yeah. Shrieked. And you can hear that, the T sound, shrieked.
Yes, shriek. In pain when he stepped on the nail.
Perfect. Ben shrieked in pain when he stepped on the nail.
I don't understand the difference between yell, scream, and shout.
Okay. Yell, scream, and shout. Okay. Scream. Okay. Shout. Usually, it's when you yell very loud, like across the street. You're usually just saying 1 or 2 words. Hey, Carlos, and you're trying to yell very loud. Okay. If you yelled, hey, Carlos, why didn't you hear me? Da, 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 da. You know, you're yelling. So usually if you're yelling, you're mad, you're angry. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, both of you could be angry, but shouting, you might be shouting to get attention. Okay? And for screaming, it's pretty much the same as yell, but and possibly even shouting, but the difference is usually a man cannot scream or shriek. If they do, it's a very hoarse, it's a lower sound. Ah, ah. So that's really what it is. And shriek, it's when I read this, Ben shrieked in pain when he stepped on the nail, I'm assuming that Ben is a young boy. So otherwise he yelled in pain if he's an older guy. So, any other questions? Very good questions.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now we've got some idioms here about speaking. So let's together, it says in pairs, but together let's study the underlying idioms below. Let's match them to the definitions. So we'll do some idioms here. Keep in mind, I do not encourage people to use idioms unless they come natural. Unless they just become part of your language. If you're trying to use the idioms, it doesn't sound natural. It sounds, it's kind of strange if you're trying to use them because you memorized them, because maybe you're not using them right. So it's so important to learn them so you can understand native speakers. But when you get to the point in English where you are not having to think about it, and all of a sudden that's the only word that comes to your head, or the only phrase that comes to your head, that's when you would use it. Okay? But it is important to understand idioms. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to read the definitions to you guys, and then I will have each one of you guys read a sentence. So we have A, persuade someone to behave more sensibly. B, quietly so that other people cannot hear exactly what you are saying. C, say what you are reluctant to say. D, speak in a way that shows you think you are superior. E, speaking in a tactless way. F, speaking to someone who doesn't want to listen. And G, talk about business with people you work with when you are not at work. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and read number one. Mariam, can you read number one?
Okay. He muttered something under his breath, and nobody heard it. Well, I think it's I don't know if it's it's B. Quietly so that other people cannot hear exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, and it's usually very negative. Maybe you're in a customer service situation. You're at a restaurant and the person isn't understanding you, and you're like, "Oh, idiot," or something like that. You just say it under your breath, like I just said, "Oh, idiot." And it's usually very negative. I personally try not to mutter anything because I think it's very rude, but I've heard people do that. All right, number two. Eva, could you read that one?
Mark likes to talk down to people, almost as if they were children. I think 2 goes with D, speak in a way that shows you think you are superior.
Yes, absolutely. That is correct. All right, and then Diana, can you do number 3?
Don't just stand there in silence. Spit it out. Speaking to someone who doesn't want to listen?
No, spit it out. Usually you're trying to tell someone to speak. Don't just stand there in silence. Spit it out. Come on, speak. So that one would be say what you're reluctant to say. So you're telling somebody. When I was a child, I was very, very shy, and I would be with my aunts and uncles and have nothing to say, and they would be like, "Oh, would you just spit it out? Would you just say what you want to say?" And I usually had nothing to say, so I didn't say anything. So, all right, Carlos White, could you read this one?
Joe has a habit of speaking out of turn. He needs to learn good manners. Now, letter F, speaking to someone who doesn't want to listen.
No. This one actually, when you speak out of turn, you're speaking in a tactless way. So you're saying things that you shouldn't be saying in the company that you're saying. So so when you speak out of turn, people who tell secrets, for example, are usually speaking out of turn. So they're saying things that are wrong, or they should. What? I have a friend that does that all the time. So, all right, number 5, Carlos Blue.
Number 5. I tried to discuss my opinion with her, but it's like talking to a brick wall.
It's like talking to a brick wall.
Yeah, it's. With A? Persuade someone to behave.
It's actually F.
F.
It's speaking to someone who doesn't want to listen. For example, if any of you are parents, when you're trying to tell your children something, maybe they aren't listening, and so it's like talking to, it's like talking to someone talking to a brick wall because no one's listening. Children don't do that a lot. So, all right, Ozma, can you read number 6?
Mm-hmm. George can't stop talking about his work. Even at parties, he likes to talk shop. Okay. Talk about business with people you work with when you are not at work.
Perfect. So, always talking, living, eating, and breathing your work. Okay, and then Ana Cristina, could you read the last one?
Somebody needs to talk some sense into Mike. His behavior is very unreasonable. Letter A. Persuade someone to behave more sensible.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. All right, Alejandro. Do you know people who mutter things under their breath, and when they do, is it appropriate?
Yes, I know some people in my work, for example. It's very difficult to treat you with them.
Yeah, I was blown away when I was watching somebody on the phone with a Chinese restaurant, and she muttered, "Can't they just speak English?" And I'm like, "Really? Are you really gonna say that?" And I'm thinking they do speak English. Why are you saying that? But it was terrible. So Ana Cristina, yeah.
Please, I have a question. To mother, it can be naturally, like something that you suffer from. You cannot speak fluent naturally.
No, say that again.
Means like you are sick, so you are not able to speak naturally, normal person, like a normal person. So that's why you murmur.
You mutter. There are people with a mental illness that, yeah, they do. They don't mutter. They actually say things out loud. Is that what you're talking about? People who just say things without thinking?
No, means for example, they are not able, like a problem, a healthy problem, we can say, or they suffer from. They cannot speak. How can I say, like a normal person.
Oh.
So my question is that mother can be also not only in language, means related to some language or no, but also like a healthy problem.
Yeah, that could be a cognitive issue. Or a speech issue. I know that one of my nephews, he stutters. And stutters, what he does is he goes, for example, he muttered something under his breath. And so when he is frustrated, he will have a hard time getting out what he's trying to say. And that verb is to stutter. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. And this is my question.
Yeah.
If there are a difference or not.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so mutter actually, the word is stutter is what you were asking about. So it's very close. To mutter is usually when you actually say something that you shouldn't say, and other people shouldn't hear it. So technically, it's a person. When a person mutters, they should probably keep it in their head and not say anything. So, but people don't. All right. So, Ana Cristina, tell us about the last time somebody talked down to you.
Please, could you repeat the question, Holly?
Yeah. You know what? I just looked at the time, and we have run out of time. So I'm sorry. So,
don't worry.
You were saved. In English, we would say you were saved by the bell. Saved by the bell.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, everyone, I want to thank you very much for your participation. We did get through this entire worksheet, which is good for me, those of you who know me. And it's nice to have met you, Mariam, and I'll see you all in another time. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Holly.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.